Hi there. How are you? I don't know about you, but sometimes I think we take respect for granted more than we ought to, don't you think? You know, it's been said that he who demands respect but shows none ruins the bridge over which he is to pass. So, what is respect? How can we show respect? Why is it important that we show respect to each other? I've asked these questions to some friends recently, and before I share my thoughts on the matter, I want you to hear from them and see what they have to say. Come with me. What is respect?
Respect is a very underlying principle in the way people treat each other and ought to treat each other, or are called to by Christ, to treat each other with kindness and with patience, to hear people out. And also there's a level of respect really matters in disagreements for sure. But it matters also when you're around people that are just a whole lot different from you.
I think respect is what we as Christians are called to show other people. I don't think it's something that people necessarily have to work for or deserve, but it's the way that we live, honoring God and honoring people.
Basically, respect is honor toward others, treating them as greater than yourself. If you treat people as important, what they want is important, treat them lovingly altogether, then that is respectful. It's basically an outpouring of treating people as they want to be treated.
Now that you've heard from some of my friends, let me share with you what I think respect is. Respect is acknowledging and valuing a person's worth and dignity as God ordained, recognizing that we're all made in God's image, and we are to treat each other with honor, consideration, and proper regard, stemming from a foundational reference for God Himself.
Matthew 7 verse 12 says, "So in everything you do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets."
So what does this mean? Well, to treat others with respect. You're showing people with kindness and empathy the way you ought to be treated. It involves considering how your actions and words would affect somebody, and is shown in both positive and negative forms, such as do unto others, or don't do to others the way you wouldn't want done to you. It is about making choices that reflect your values, even when other people behave poorly, and is intended to foster positive interactions, and to avoid causing unnecessary harm. How can we show respect?
I think, realizing that people are image bearers of God and just valuing who they are and just their lives.
We can show respect by speaking to people and treating them with kindness and understanding and assuming their best.
Listening is really respectful. Just listening to people's stories and people's lives and how their day was. Listening is a good sign of respect.
The phrase think less of yourself and more of others reflects on the biblical principle of humility, which is not about having a low self-opinion, but about thinking of yourself less by prioritizing the needs of others.
The Bible encourages this through verses like Philippians 2:3, which states, "Do nothing out of rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves." Romans 12:3 also says, "For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, do not think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned."
This means considering others' interests ahead of your own, following the example of Christ, who emptied himself by taking the form of a servant. You would do almost anything to help your family and friends in any situation, and when they return the favor back, well, let's just say those are the people that you ought to let them stick around with you. Otherwise, both of you might miss something. Why is it important that we show respect to each other?
It's important because Christ told us to. And one of the things that my dad has always said is, if you give respect, you get respect. And so, to go with that, you watch people who are disrespectful to other people, whether it's in a job or in a family or in a classroom or in a friendship, If you give disrespect, then people do not respect you back. But if you give respect, you will get respect back.
It's basically important because we want to be respected. Jesus said that, after the love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, the most important thing. The second most important thing is to love your neighbor as yourself. Like, if we want to be treated with respect, if we want to be honored in the things we care about, to be honored by others, we need to do the same for others. It's just a very important thing that everyone be able to do that for each other.
I think it's important to show respect because without it is the absence of respect. It's a lot of hatred, a lot of bitterness and selfishness.
To do so is to honor God's image in a person and to fulfill God's second great commandment, which is to love your neighbor as yourself.
Those are some really good reasons why it's important we need to show respect. And I believe this leads up to my next point. It's important that we show respect because respect is the way to connect. In other words, respect helps build relationships. When you love God and love people, you're showing how much you value those relationships, and it also shows that you love them just as much as you love yourself.
In Matthew 22:37-39, Jesus tells us, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself."
When you love God, it is not just a feeling or an outward action, but it's a total and complete commitment to one's entire being. This involves worship, service, obedience, and being transformed by His Spirit. When you love your neighbor, it consists of acting in their best interests, which includes showing compassion, care, and even correction when needed. This involves loving God, and it demonstrates that one must have a healthy relationship with God to properly love others. In conclusion, when you give respect to your family, friends, and acquaintances, you're showing how much you value them, and also how much you love God. I want to challenge you to show some respect these next few weeks. Find some time to visit with somebody because respect is time. Tell them how much you love and appreciate them. In everything you do, give thanks to the Lord because He is so good all the time, and His love and faithfulness endures forever. When you do those things, within time, you'll come to realize that the results are very satisfying, and you know it was worth it when you know you did the right thing. And with that, I will end this thought for the day right here. I want to thank my friends McKenna, Mackenzie, Matthew, and Bryce for their collaboration in this video. Guys, you're the best, and I don't think this video would have been done without you. I really appreciate you guys. I also want to thank Roy Webb for allowing me to use his music to back up this video. Dude, you're a legend. And I am so thankful that your music is a part of my life's soundtrack. For those who have been encouraged or inspired by this video, please share it with somebody who you know can relate. And I also want to hear from you. What are some other ways we can show respect? What topic would you like to hear in the future? And with that, I will end the video here. So until next time, stay awesome, God bless, and remember, respect is the way to connect. Every time.